Today's video is presented to you by EA Game Changers. Special thanks to EA for inviting me down to the Orlando studios to participate in an early capture event so I could bring you guys exclusive Madden 20 Ultimate Team videos. Now if you want more exclusive Madden and MUT 20 content, be sure to click that subscribe button and also hit that bell icon so you'll never miss an upload. Yo! What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 20 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the top 5 sleeper players that you need on your Madden 20 Ultimate Team day one. We actually got a little bit more than 5. We're going to go over some very important skill positions and cards that I think might be budget cards for the first week or so in Madden Ultimate Team. So speed is the name of the game, and we're going to start off by going over one of the fastest, if not fastest, players in the NFL, and that's Marquise Goodwin, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. 87 speed. If you compare him to the fastest card, which I believe is Tyreek Hill, you're going to see that he's just one speed below him, 5'9", 86 jumping. If you're strictly looking for speed, this is the card that you want to go with. Acceleration is pretty solid too for a 79 overall gold card at 87. He's not going to catch everything, but again, we're looking at some low tier, cheap budget cards, some sleeper cards that I think you guys could take a look at. Will Fuller is another one who's kind of in the same category as Goodwin, and I thought it'd be nice to compare the two cards. He is slightly slower, but has better receiving stats. 78 overall, another wide receiver. He's a little bit taller as well, so we'll show his stats here in a moment. He is 6 foot even with 86 speed, again 75 catching. I like to compare the two and show that, you know, Goodwin's a little bit faster, but Fuller's going to be more reliable both with catching traffic, and spectacular catch. And he's a little bit taller as well, but both of these guys, you can't go wrong. The purpose of this video and these cards that I'm going to talk about is just, you know, early, if you're not looking to spend a lot of your coins or you can't afford those higher tier, those more expensive players, these are some cards and items that will probably help you get by for the first week or so in Madden and allow you to maybe knock out some ultimate challenges, build your coin count, and then eventually be able to spend more. Tevin Coleman has always been a budget beast, one of the most used cards in MUT salary cap, and I think his 78 overall gold is a really good starting point to anchor your backfield in the first couple weeks of Madden Ultimate Team. Again, 78 overall, but we looked at his speed, and he's pretty fast. 85 speed, 6'1". His agility's at 84. He's not going to truck or run people over. His catching isn't that great as well, but pretty good acceleration at 83 means he's going to get up the field quickly. Spin moves are not going to be very effective, so what I was really looking for is high juke move with high speed, and there's some other budget guys that we can take a look at here. As we can see with Tevin Coleman, he has a 69 spin move but 78 juke move, and I think juke move will be much more effective than spin as it was last year. Corey Grant, super budget card here, 87 speed, probably the fastest gold running back in the game. He lacks acceleration and pretty much everything else compared to Tevin Coleman, but I imagine that this card will probably be much cheaper as he is a lower tier gold overall, but again, probably the fastest one that you're going to see early on in MUT 20. If you compare the two side by side, you'll see that Coleman really wins in everything, mine is just break tackle. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more of a well-rounded back, I think stiff arm and power backs are going to be useful in Madden 20 as well. Leonard Fournette has decent speed at 83, acceleration 81, his carrying is at 80, so he's a little more reliable with the football, catching better than Tevin Coleman, but look at the difference in break tackle and trucking as well. I think Leonard Fournette may be the most well-rounded gold halfback in MUT 20 from start, and I think it's one that you definitely want to put in your backfield, even if you have maybe a budget speed guy like Tevin Coleman and then a budget versatile back like Fournette. You can't go wrong with either of these guys, and they're going to be really cheap. So let's go to the defensive side of the football. I'm showing you Denzel Ward here because I think he is a pretty good looking core elite card, a little bit lower overall, 82, but I think his stats are going to be very well in the beginning of the year. But I wanted to compare him to some of the gold cards that I think could be useful. Xavier Howard's one of them. I think he should be an elite, and 6'1" with 83 speed, 74 press, 69 man coverage, 74 zone. The zone and the speed really stood out to me, plus he's 6'1". Again, should be an elite card. I'm surprised he's not, but I think Xavier Howard is probably going to be a decent card for you to start out with if you're just strictly looking for gold. Jair Alexander, rookie last year, going into his sophomore year for the Green Bay Packers, 84 speed, 84 acceleration. He's just not too far off when you compare him to Denzel Ward, who again is an 82 overall elite. He's got 73 man, 69 zone coverage. Pretty close there to Ward, and the price difference between these two, trust me, is going to be a whole lot different. Shaquille Griffin from the Seattle Seahawks is another card that I really like. Given his low overall at 78, he's 85 speed, 84 excel, agility is 79. That does worry me a little bit. 6 foot tall. Man coverage also not great, but zone is pretty solid for a 78 overall gold. He has 70 zone coverage, 71 press. And again, with that speed and that height, that press in that zone, I think he'll be very usable. And then Avonte Maddox from the Philadelphia Eagles, agility. The reason I highlighted this card is because I think agility is the most underrated stat for a cornerback in any Madden Ultimate Team. It allows you to get animations and interceptions that you're not going to see from guys with lower agility. So though his stats aren't great, he still does have 84 speed. His zone stinks. His man coverage is bad as well. But I think with the speed and the agility, he might make some surprise plays for you early on. Now, linebackers. User linebackers are going to be a lot different this year. As you know, you're not going to be able to get those super lurks, those crazy animations where you pick a ball off that should not be intercepted in real life. So I think the most important thing to look for here in middle linebacker and any linebacker in general is speed. And Roquan Smith definitely has that. You're going to have to keep up with the wide receivers and tight ends that you're chasing down if you're going to user that middle linebacker. You're not going to get crazy jumping animations, but all you can do is hope that that 80 speed or whatever speed your linebacker is running with, and maybe a little bit of height, can keep up with those abilities. So that's why I picked Roquan Smith. 6'1", 80 speed, 82 acceleration. He's pretty solid too with 77 hit power. You might be able to force some user-generated fumbles. As far as leaving him, out to cover by himself with the AI, I wouldn't really recommend that. Only 69 zone coverage, but he does have solid tackle for a gold card at 75, strength 73. All in all, a good card. Camus Grugier-Hill from the Eagles as well is another good option. Left outside linebacker, of course, with a lot of formations. You don't have to play them at their natural position. Yes, you'll want to have them there on your MUT lineup screen, but you can always maneuver these guys around once you get in game. And Grugier-Hill is another great example of a user linebacker. 6'2", so a little bit taller than Roquan Smith. 80 speed, a little bit slower, 82 acceleration. His tackle is not as good, 68. His play rec is not good, 65. So again, these are not guys you want to let the AI control. This is something you want to take into your own hands and just try to make plays. I'm just thinking that speed is more so going to be effective as far as staying with the guys that you're covering, because again, user linebackering is just not going to get the animations that we are all used to. So to end the video, I just want to show you some lower level core elites that I think, might be usable. I don't know how the market's going to play for the first week or so. We don't know how expensive some of these cards can be. So if you're really working on a budget, you're going to want to shoot for those higher tier overall golds. But if you got a little bit of coins to work with, I think guys like Brandon Cooks, 81 overall, 86 speed, solid wide receiver. He's usually decent at run blocking. It didn't look like it this year, but he's a great slot receiver. We got Derwin James, rookie last year, 6'2", 81 speed. He was a MUT superstar last year. 83 excel, his hit power is 81, zone 72, man 73. Just a very well balanced corner who can play pass coverage and play down in the box and stop the run. Jalen Smith, a Cowboy, it pains me to give him props, but this card looks pretty solid for an 80 overall core elite card. He's got the speed, he's got the height. He's another one that if you're roaming around with that user linebacker and trying to make plays, he might not be a bad option. 78 speed, a little bit slower, but 6'2". And look at that hit power. I mean, if you're trying to force user fumbles, especially on guys who might want to get testy with you and run with their quarterback, Jalen Smith is going to be a good one. And then Lamar Miller always seems like he's just a well-rounded budget back to start every MUT year. His cards never really expand after that, and that's unfortunate. But this card is an 80 overall halfback from the Houston Texans, and he's going to give you a little bit of everything. 83 speed, 82 acceleration, 83 agility. His carrying's a 78. His catching is not very good at all. He did have a decent juke move as well. I don't think I showed it to you on the screen, and I apologize for that. But jukes are definitely going to be much more powerful in MUT 20 compared to Madden 19, where the spin move was king. So if you guys got any budget players that you feel are useful, help the community out. Leave it down below in the comment section. I'll be sure to look at them. I didn't get to test all cards in the game just because time was limited. So you can also go over on to muthead.com and take a look at the cards that are on there. That'll give you an idea of everything that's in the game, and maybe search for some of those stats and attributes that I talked about throughout this video to see if they're guys that might make a difference on your field. If you got any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter as well. My Twitter name should be on your screen right now. Come give me a follow. And again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.